Now, I want to talk particularly to people of faith because I know we've got a lot of Catholics here. And, I don't talk a whole lot about my faith because, sometimes you just talk about other things. You talk about public policy, but I'm certainly a very devout Christian. And I was actually baptized for the first time in 2019. I returned to my faith as a young man. Got baptized. And I say this as a Christian, as a person who was baptized for the first time just a few years ago. There is something really bizarre with Kamala Harris's anti-Christian rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that we've seen... I don't think that we've seen anything like this in modern American politics. You saw this video that Gretchen Whitmer, we know Gretchen Whitmer is, she's the governor of Michigan. That's right, I agree. But Gretchen Whitmer does this really bizarre thing where she acts like she's given somebody communion, but it's a Dorito. And of course, Gretchen Whitmer isn't like a minister of anything except for, a church I don't necessarily want to talk about. But think about how sacrilegious that is. And think about how offensive that is to every person. Frankly, whether you're a person of Christian faith or not, Donald Trump and I are going to fight for your right to live your values because that's what the First Amendment protects. And I think whether you're a Christian, a Catholic, or any other faith or no faith at all, when you see an American leader, when you see a surrogate of Kamala Harris insulting people of the Christian faith, I think that we should say to every single one of those people, you're fired. We're not giving you any more power. We're going to respect Christians. We're going to respect all people of faith. And it's not just, look, it's not just the symbolism. It's not just what they do, it's also the way that they've governed over the last couple of years. Remember, Kamala Harris has supported suing Catholic nuns to force them to perform procedures that violate their conscience. I think that's ridiculous. I think we're a big enough country where we can actually respect the right of people of faith to live according to their conscience and not try to force Kamala Harris's progressive values down their throat. Isn't that right? We're a big enough country to respect one another. I think we're a big enough country to not ask American taxpayers to fund abortion at 9 months. I think we're a big enough country to say we're not going to fund that crap with American taxpayer dollars. And I think that we're a big enough country to say that whatever your faith, or whether you're a person of no faith at all, we believe in the First Amendment, and that means most of all that we are not going to censor you and silence you. We're going to try to persuade you because that's what American political leaders ought to do with their fellow citizens. And that's really, my friends, I think what really sets, there's so many things that set, of course, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump apart, but I think that what you'll never hear Donald Trump say is that you should be prevented from saying something because I disagree with it. And yet Kamala Harris, every single action that she's taken, everything that she says, she'll often defend, not disagreeing reasonably, not persuading her fellow citizens, but trying to silence her fellow citizens. And I think a person who believes in censorship is not fit to lead the world's greatest constitutional republic. And you see this censorship attitude a lot of different ways, my friends. You see it when they try to use big tech to silence stories that they don't like. You saw it a few years ago when they were trying to make 3-year-olds wear masks at preschools, and they censored anybody who said, maybe this is a dumb idea. And where you see it today, I think, in the modern American political debate is that if you dare to believe in a secure southern border, Kamala Harris and her goons will call me a racist for daring to believe in American borders. Now, here's the crazy thing about this is people of common sense, black, white, brown, we believe in secure southern borders because we love this country and we want it to be secure. That is not a racist belief, that's a common sense belief. But think about what Kamala Harris is really saying. She's really saying if you don't want fentanyl in your communities, then somehow that makes you a racist. If you want security and don't want to import terrorists from 100 countries all over the world, that makes you a bad person. If you want your young families to be able to walk down the street in security and comfort, that makes you a bad person. Kamala Harris, I think the only bad person today in American politics is you. Why don't you try persuading your fellow citizens instead of attacking them and censoring them? And for all of you, Donald Trump and I will fight for your right to speak your mind.